Out of my interview with Cory Booker, who's running for the Democratic presidential nomination. The senator from New Jersey and former mayor of Newark is offering himself to voters as a uniter for the country. Earlier today, I sat down with him at Tommy's Cafe in Davenport, Iowa, about 3 hours from here, for a wide-ranging discussion. I asked him to start with about Trump's rhetoric on race, the branding of the Democratic Party by some as socialist, whether the president committed obstruction of justice, and if President Booker would ever think of pardoning Donald Trump. I began by asking him about John McCain and what he thought about the president's rough talk about his deceased former colleague.
Repulsive. I mean, John McCain, he and I disagreed, but he was probably one of the better mentors I had when I first came to the Senate. He is a statesman, and he has passed away. This is kind of a moral vandalism that we see from this president, with the idea that you speak kind of the dead. And a guy who sacrificed for his country, who was tortured for his country, who stayed there, giving other people, would not be released without other people going before him, who stood on the Senate floor fighting against torture in our country. He's a hero. And to hear a sitting president, a commander-in-chief, what's that say to other men and women that are serving this nation? So I found it repulsive, and just another example of his moral vandalism and him just tearing at the fabric of this country. As opposed to bonding us together, he continues to try to pit us against each other, and now pitting us against dead Americans.
You've got there's a great headline in our local paper here. We're in Davenport, Iowa right now, and the Quad City Times, the local paper, has a great quote from you on the front page, slightly below the fold. Okay. It's pretty good. This election is about uniting Americans. I want to ask you about working in the Senate, the world's greatest deliberative body. Name some Republicans you like in the Senate.
Oh, there's a lot.
Name them. There's 53 to go through.
Look, I have friends on the other side of the aisle.
Name them.
I just told you one. Tim Scott is a friend. Mike Lee is a friend from Utah.
Okay,
Lamar Alexander, I wouldn't say he's a friend, but he's a statesman. I go to Inhofe's office for Bible study. There are a lot of guys there. Heck,
that's a good one. Inhofe. You get along with that guy. You agree with him on nothing.
Listen, we are Americans. Sincerely, we're Americans. Inhofe and I passed an amendment to an education bill together that took care of homeless kids and foster kids. When I went to his house to do Bible study, I saw his black grandchildren, adopted grandchildren.
Wow.
So you see people, when you strip away all the politics and you meet them over prayer, you meet them in the gym working out, you begin to realize that the lines that divide us are not as strong as the ties that bind us. And I might fight him on most issues, but we still have common ground. And in America, if we can stop focusing on this divisiveness rhetoric and start seizing that common ground, we're going to get a lot more done.
You know what struck me on the ethnic thing, the racial thing over the years, is the politicians, the good ones, Bill Bradley, Jack Kemp, who played...
By the way, Bill Bradley and Jack Kemp, my very first fundraiser in Washington, D.C., they co-hosted that fundraiser for me.
Well, they're better on race because maybe they played with ball players together. And they
football, I tell you, and basketball, again, when you sweat with somebody, when you bleed with somebody on the football field, it strips away a lot of the BS, frankly, and you see their humanity. You begin to see them first as human beings, in a common cause. It's what the military does as well.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.